So, shall I assume that once the ship is safely into the phlogiston, you start to gravitate towards the helm?
Yeah, we gotta check this out.
God damn it.
Kind of mesmerizing.
Oh my god, on this of all days. On this, my day of birth, you do this to me.
Happy birthday, Annie. I got you a cute half orc.
Fucking hell. How dare you make my face do this? I hate this.
Hello, Toolbox. You want me to throw that toy for you? You have to actually bring it within arm's reach.
Your cats are going to be very confused at being called Toolbox.
They'll get used to it.
So yeah, you guys are now in the phlogiston. Your ship appears to be caught in a current that is taking the ship in one direction. So Lachlan has to do very little actual flying here. Annie, are you still angrily muttering to yourself?
Yes! Close this tab, Jesus Christ. How dare you? How dare you?
Happy birthday!
Ugh. Ugh.
So Cacophony's playing with Toolbox.
Yes, Cacophony's playing with Toolbox.
And Jilliana and Alviva, what are you guys doing?
God. Fucking Jesus Christ.
Annie's still angrily muttering to herself, so...
No, I'm just taking a seat, watching the world go by and staring at Aviva from time to time, or at Cacophony from time to time, wondering what is her problem.
She's playing with the cat.
Yeah. She is currently not Cacophony. She's currently Shilwyn. Thank you.
And playing with the cat
with her hair up, and she's in sweats, and she's playing with the cat. Yeah.
Yeah, Kara appears to be watching from a distance, just kind of like glaring at Toolbox, like, like, oh sure, you suck up to the other people.
The joys of cat ownership.
Mr. Hurst appears to be whittling? With the ship caught in the current, everybody's kind of at loose ends. There's very few actual jobs that need to be done right now. You'll notice that the smell of cooking that has emanated from the galley for the last couple of days has vanished entirely as Finn has extinguished all the flames in the galley.
Oh, I guess that would make sense.
Yes. So everything's going to be preserved and or cold for the next couple of days.
Makes sense. That explains why he was doing all that cooking.
Yep. Jill, are you going to go talk to them?
Do it, Jill. We're all waiting on you to do it, Jill.
No, this is just
Listen, we all know what the next plot beat is, and it's Jill being thirsty over a half orc.
God damn
Jill.
it!
We all know it, Jill.
Jesus Christ.
We're the worst. we're like your friends who are, like telling you to go talk to your crush.
Ugh.
So Jill is just kind of standing there glaring at the door to the forecastle where Lachlan is piloting the ship.
Yeah. This is so stupid.
Shilwyn watches her for a moment and then ducks into her room where she finds Alviva and grabs her by the arm and yoinks her out with her.
Oh, this is the stupidest. God.
She gestures at Alviva to go to one side of Jill while she goes to the other side, and she settles her hand on Jill's shoulder.
What? Hi.
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 So we happen to notice that you perhaps might...
What?
Be gazing quite often at Lachlan.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh
and
god.
It is us,
Hi.
and Alviva and I, Alviva and I happen to think that perhaps you should go talk to him. Just about fun things. Maybe bring up some exciting things about yourself, like how you serve Ethla. He's from a place called Eberron, which is very loud. You can talk about how when I'm Cacophony, I'm very loud.
Oh my god. I don't think pamphlets are a good point here.
You don't have to bring any pamphlets to him. You can just discuss that.
No.
Find points
No
of common
pamphlets.
interest.
Definitely no pamphlets.
I agree with Alviva.
Oh my god. Oh god. Oh god. Why?
Are you planning on spending this entire trip, wherever we're going and however long we're going to be, avoiding this person?
Maybe?
No, that will not work.
Not going to allow that.
Oh my god. Why are you guys like this?
Because we are busybodies.
Look, how long have we been together now? A long time, right? long enough.
I think
And
like
you
2
know-
weeks, technically.
And yes, and in the course of this last 2 weeks, ain't none of us getting any. So if anybody's got a chance, it's you.
Juliana is completely flushed at this getting anything. Oh my god.
My mother, everybody.
Oh my god. What? No. Oh god, why?
You don't have to actually get any right now, though. Right now, all you need to do...
Why are you even talking about? Why are you like this?
Well, if you don't know, then heck with that.
Yeah, you just... If even Elviva knows what getting any means, then I'm sorry. There's nothing that can be done to help you. Jill, you have to go in there and just talk to him.
Jill, can you roll a straight wisdom check for me real quick?
Oh god, okay. 23.
You abruptly and with perfect clarity realize that since Lachlan is piloting the ship, he's hearing this entire conversation.
I'd like to die now. Please, can someone just slit my throat? That'd be great.
No, but we are going to open the door and shove you up the stairs, Elviva. And open the door and shove you up the stairs, we do.
Yeah, Juliana, do you want to resist being pushed into the forecastle?
No, Juliana wants to die.
Okay. So you get shoved through the door. It slams shut behind you.
Juliana is like facing the door and completely freezes.
You hear Lachlan from behind you go, hi.
Juliana slowly turns around step by step with her hands still frozen up in front of her, looks at her hands, remembers how hands work and arms work, and shoves her hands behind her back. Hi!
So, just so you know, it's general helm etiquette to not talk to people about the things you might have heard them say while you're flying the ship.
Oh my god.
So, yeah.
Juliana buries her head in her hands. Oh my god. Okay. How's it going?
Good. How's your day going?
Real crap, actually.
Yeah. I wouldn't know anything about that.
No, I imagine you wouldn't.
Nope, I don't know a thing.
So, space, huh?
Yeah, it's actually a pretty easy shift right now. The current's taking the ship most of the way.
So, I mean, is it like water currents or?
A bit. It's kind of gas. So it's fluid, but yeah.
I did not study chemistry at all. I
mean, neither did I. I'm still kind of new at all this. Kara's the real expert.
What brought you out here?
Well, I mean, I did the adventuring thing for a while. Had a gig finding some stuff that was lost and stuff, but honestly, like, then this ship came here and I started hearing stories about what it was like out here, and I figured, it can't be worse than being a half-orc on Eberron, so decided to check it out. And so far, I kind of like it.
Yeah, we, the ship kind of crash landed, so we didn't really hear stories so much as, like, is that a falling star? Should we go salvage it? And then some giant spiders with eel heads showed up.
Yeah, the Neogi. I haven't met any of those yet, and I'm kind of happy about it.
Yeah, no, they're the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, they sound like it.
Yeah, they make, there were some babies and like a big one, and it was a real bad scene, and like we had to kind of like sneak, and well, I'm not really, sneaking isn't really my thing, so it was a real, like, I don't like spiders on a good day, and I'm completely rambling now.
Well, now I know that you don't like spiders, so we know things about each other now.
Yeah. Great.
Meanwhile, we're on the other side of the door listening to this, and it is so painful.
Our ears are pressed to the door.
And we're looking at each other and saying, "What the fuck?"
So you're from that world we just left, right? Easheim?
Yeah.
So what was that like?
I mean, really different, I guess. I mean, I don't know. You don't really have the words to describe something that's always been in front of you, like when you don't know any different. I mean, elves and dwarves and humans, and she gestures to herself, Azamar, I guess. Not a whole lot of those from what I've seen.
Huh, I was kind of wondering what was up with the hair.
Yeah, that kind of came in around like puberty. I thought I was human growing up, and then like this whole thing happened.
Huh. Well, I suppose you got like 50% more of a normal childhood than I got, so there's that.
I mean, what was it like for you?
Not too bad. I mean, my parents were like really, really like, they were both around. They were both supportive. So it was like playground stuff, right? I mean, you know, on Eberron it's not like as bad for orcs. Like you're looked down on, but it's from what I've seen on other planets, it's like way worse.
Oh, geez. So I'm sorry. That sounds like a lot to have to put up with that you shouldn't have to.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, it's hard to have words to describe something you've known all your life.
Yeah.
I have heard something pretty cool, though.
Okay.
So, one of the reasons I came out here is I started hearing stories about this like city out here in space. It's like all orcs, and they have their own. They're allowed to live, and they're allowed to be their own thing, and they've got like cool technology, and the kids are like, you know, allowed to grow up at their own pace, and it's, from the sounds of it, it's like it's almost sounds like heaven, you know?
That sounds really nice.
Yeah, I don't think I'm ever gonna find it. I'm not even sure it's real, but it's a goal, right?
Yeah. No, that's something to work for. Is that why you sort of came out in the first place? Just looking for something else?
Yeah. I figured it was time for a change. Wanted to see what else was out here.
It's a lot, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And yeah. I mean, Veli was like the biggest shock that I got when I first got out here. We served together on our last ship, the Iphigenia, and then we both left and joined the Kestrel together, and that was Veli's got a hell of a story. You should ask them about that sometime.
Shilwyn looks at Alviva and just kind of lifts her hands and what was that?
Like, okay, I give up. Why is he directing her to Veli? Is there something about Lachlan we don't know?
No, I think he's just making conversation.
Okay.
I'm gonna go find Mr. Hurst, she says.
Is Mr. Hurst is over on the Stern Castle. He appears to be whittling, not very well.
That's fine.
He sees you approaching and he goes, "Hey, how's it going? I'm supposed to call you something different when you're
Shilwyn.
Dressed like this, right?"
Yes.
Shilwyn, cool.
Yes. With this kind of an SH sound because it starts with an X. It's my parents named me badly. What are you carving?
He holds it up and he says, "It's a bird," and it's not a bird. It's not even a little bit a bird.
Huh. I gotta be honest, Mr. Hurst. You're not much of a carver.
I'm really not, but I enjoy it. And,
Yes.
you know, I got big hands.
And you can only get better by trying.
Yeah. I mean, it's better if I never whittled at all.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's better than if you never whittled. Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying, but also
Yes.
the DM is very tired.
I mean, when I first started plinking around on my veal, it was terrible. My parents actually made me do it outside, so they wouldn't have to hear it inside the house.
I mean, that's kind of mean.
I mean, it wasn't really. It's a very warm climate.
Oh, okay. So that's a little
better.
better.
Also, it meant that they didn't have to hear the loud shrieking while they were trying to do basic tasks around the house all the time.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So how do you like space?
You know, it's fine. I enjoy looking out at all the various things I've never seen up close before. I will say, being on an enclosed ship is kind of a relief after traveling most of my life. And I like all my fellow crew members. There's not a single one I haven't really disliked yet. You know, it's good.
Yeah, I like it out here.
How do you like all the new crew?
They seem nice. Yeah, I think Lachlan's a little out of his depth, but Kara and Veli, they're pretty neat, and they're getting along well with Finn, which usually means they're good people.
Now, Lachlan has reasons to be out of his depth, admittedly. We're trying to get him and Jill, you know, to talk.
Jesus Christ.
They don't talk already?
I mean, they talk. We mean talk. You know.
I don't.
Talk with amorous reasons.
Oh, okay. I think I get it.
Yeah.
So why?
Well, Mr. Hurst, have you ever had a crush on someone?
A couple of times.
It's that reason, precisely.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're trying to get her to talk to Lachlan, to broaden her horizons, basically.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me know if you need any help.
Always, if you see her kind of staring winsomely at the door up to the top deck whenever he's currently, you know, foreman, just pick her up and carry her up the stairs.
I can do that, yeah.
Thank you,
Can't we
Mr.
just
Hurst.
exchange meaningful glances?
Appreciated, Mr. Hurst.
You know we can hear everything you're saying, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I had my ear pressed to the door, though, and he said he won't talk about it if he ever hears it.
Cool. Yeah, I heard that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta sit there awkwardly for a second.
Yeah, that's fine. And then I prop my feet up and kind of sit back and just watch him work.
Okay, he continues to whittle very badly. Jill, how you doing in there?
Oh god.
Does Lachlan get kind of an awkward look on his face at some point?
Yeah, you see a couple of micro expressions on his face as he continues to pilot the ship, and you continue to kind of babble at him.
Jill eventually asks him what he does for fun. And it's probably sounded exactly, what do you do for fun?
Well, there's a couple of ways to have fun on a ship like this. Once I get off shift, I'll show you.
Oh, this sounds like it could get interesting.
And then he sees the look on your face and goes, no, not like that!
Oh god, no, I mean, I just,
Ah, crap. Got excited there for a minute.
Alviv, are you still listening at the door?
Of course I am.
And then he is very clearly having some kind of breakdown as he realizes what he almost basically proposed to you.
I like playing euchre.
That's cool. This has been two idiots flirting.
Yes. Yes, it has. I should go polish my hammer.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Is that what we're calling it now?
Oh my god. Okay, keep flying good. See you later.
Okay, you leave. You see Alviva on your way out, who has very clearly been listening to the whole thing.
What the hell?
I don't know.
Cacophony's across the way with her feet propped up, just kind of idly staring into space while sitting next to Mr. Hurst.
I'm gonna go die in bed.
Don't. Please do not die in bed.
I think I'm gonna.
You know, I think I might do a little bit of interesting music or something over dinner tonight, because I need to practice anyway.
That sounds great. Perhaps you can play my funeral.
I could play some romance songs if you'd like.
No, I think a funeral dirge would be great. That would make a lot of sense. Oh, God, I hate everything so much.
Kara comes up to pick up her shift at the helm, sees the look on your face, and immediately just kind of snickers and looks away.
Hi,
One
Kara.
chance for a first impression.
How's it going?
It's going pretty good right now.
Hi,
How's it going
Kara.
with you?
Pretty good. Just about to pick up my shift flying the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
How's your friend there? And she kind of gestures at Juliana.
She's a bit embarrassed,
As
as you can tell by the fact that she's now groaning at me for mentioning that she's embarrassed.
Juliana just sort of leans over and claps her hands over Shilwyn's mouth. We're great. We're doing great.
Shilwyn puts her hand to her temple and then points over at Kara, and in Kara's head she hears my message cantrip being cast. As Cacophony says, she has a crush on Lachlan, don't worry about it.
Kara gives you a knowing nod and goes to the forecastle to relieve Lachlan.
Why do I get the feeling you just used magic?
No reason.
Yeah. God. Oh, God, I'm on a ship where I'm going to die. I'm going to just shrivel up into a hole, and you'll all laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. It's just all women at the convent, and that's fine. You know, that doesn't preclude romance. Just not really my thing. And
She kind of nods her head after a few beats and then says, she gently removes your hand from her mouth. And then she goes,
Lachlan emerges from the forecastle.
well, frankly, I suppose...
Jill has not seen him emerge yet.
Yeah.
No.
Cacophony briefly glances that way, but she's probably just glancing at Alviva. Who knows? And then she goes, I suppose Cacophony's big thing has always been to find romance. I do search for it myself, though not perhaps as much as she does.
Yeah, no, she's pretty active.
Yeah. Never found a dragonborn I've truly wanted to stick with yet. Sometime.
I mean, there were those like centaur dragon guys.
Yeah, they were pretty attractive. I never actually spoke to one yet, though.
I mean,
Not for
probably.
lack of trying, but we got stuck in sewers, etc., etc.
Yeah, the whole Grack problem.
Mm-hmm.
I can hear Rio laughing at having cock-blocked Cacophony.
Good old Rio.
I mean, it's not that I'm only attracted to Dragonborn. Please understand. I like anybody who generally identifies as female, but I just have a type.
No, I get that.
Yeah,
I get that.
yeah. She pats Jill's arm a little bit.
You hear Lachlan. You see Lachlan pass you in your peripheral vision. By the way, Jill.
Hello, Lachlan.
Hey.
So, hey, and he's very desperately avoiding eye contact as he talks to you, Jill. And he's like, "So, hey, did you wanna hang out a bit?
Go hang out. She
yeah.
says, Jillian.
Sure. Yeah.
Have fun. Mr. Hurst, do you mind if I practice my viol while you're working?
No, I don't mind at all.
Sweet.
You're not going to do any of those screechy noises, right?
No, not at all. I'm much better now. And Shilwyn goes and retrieves her viol and then comes back out and just starts lazily playing kind of soft tunes.
Because you're doing romance ambient music, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
I mean, you could just play Nearer My God to Thee. I feel like that'd be appropriate here.
No, it's in the background. It's kind of like the soft romantic music that you hear. Na 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 na. I'm doing the Godfather theme right now, I guess. Na 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 na. Na, 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 na,
Juliana definitely like mouths at some point, I hate you.
She just smiles.
Okay, so Lachlan grabs an apple from the nearby barrel and he says, I want to show you something cool. And he goes over to the edge of the ship, like to the edge of the deck.
All right. Jill follows him.
He says, so has the captain explained to you at all stuff about like gravity planes?
Not so much, aside from saying that, like, you know, the ship is, you know, down is always down on the ship, but...
Well, sort of. And then he throws the apple overboard, and you see the apple fall until it hits about the center line of the ship, and then it bobs back up, and then back down again, crossing this invisible line about halfway through the ship laterally until it's just kind of hovers there and slowly starts to drift towards the edge of the ship's air envelope.
Oh my god, what?
It's cool, right? So the gravity plane actually works both ways. You could actually walk on the bottom of the ship if you wanted to.
Seriously?
Yeah, here, I'll show you. And he actually, like, hops over the edge of the rail, holds on, and then holds out his hand to you.
Oh god. Juliana kind of hesitates and then takes his hand.
Okay, he, it's a very Disney moment,
Yeah.
where he sort of helps you over the edge of the rail.
Rainbows
and
are
then you
fucking
both kind of-
everywhere.
Yeah, and then you climb down, and then you can actually feel when you hit the gravity plane and when it reverses. And with a bit of adjustment, you are both standing on the underside of the ship.
Oh my god. Like,
Cool, right?
yeah, actually. Like, you'd have some ships come in for, like, dry dock or something for a while back home, but you'd never really get to see the underside of them. This is incredible.
Yeah, you can actually see the wings of the canvas wings of the ship up above you, and the sort of landing feats that it has, which are currently like tucked up under the underbelly of the ship.
Oh yeah, Jill wants to go look at those. Like, Jill wants to see ship things.
Okay, you're gonna go look at the feeties.
Yeah, look at the little feeties.
They are impressively mechanical, and although it does appear that they are not controlled through any kind of automated system, it appears that they are just like part of the ship and controlled by the pilot.
This is incredible. Are a lot of these ships like this with the feats? I've only seen like a couple, and one of them was a big spider.
Yeah, no, this is a strike ship, so it is a very particular model. Most strike ships will have like the wings and the tail and the feet. There's a lot of ships that are actually just like they nailed a spelljamming helm to like a regular sailing ship and then flew it out here. Basically, any sufficiently large piece of wood with a spelljamming helm on it can be a ship.
Wait, but how did they even like land when we re-entered the Stormhaven? Everything like caught on fire.
Yeah, it gets kind of hot when you do re-entry, but most of the time the helm itself, I think, actually protects the ship from most of the damage. You still got to worry about it, and like an inexperienced helmsmaster will sometimes like bring the ship in too steep and they'll burn up, but
Not from personal experience, I'm hoping?
no,
No.
I may have screwed up a little bit on the Iphigenia, but we're not going to talk about that.
Is this part of the story I should be asking about?
No, listen, it's not going to happen again. Don't worry about it.
Is that why you needed to find a new ship?
We're not going to talk about it.
Okay.
And he's like, here, I want to show you something else cool. And he pulls another apple out of his pocket.
Change the topic.
And then,
Where do you keep finding those?
listen, I get hungry. I'm a big boy. And he
Clearly.
takes the apple and he aims towards like what from your point of view is the edge of the ship again.
Mhm.
And he chucks it. Jilliana, I need me to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh god.
Not Jillian, Cacophony, I need you to make a dexterity saving
me.
throw.
Okay. 1 second. 19.
Okay. You get a split second to react as the apple orbits the ship and comes up over the edge of the dock, aiming straight for you, and you deftly dodge out of the way as an apple sails past you and hits the deck.
Huh, she says. I wonder if that's a sign that they don't want me playing music anymore. However, there's one thing that I don't do. Well, I normally do it as Shilwyn, don't I? But I'm not going to do it right now because I'm playing music, and that is take subtle hints. And then she just casually gets right back to playing.
Okay.
Yeah, so we hear the
below
music stop and then start.
Yes.
Yeah, you and Lachlan hear the music stop and then start, and he's like, huh, I guess it didn't work.
Wait, were you aiming for her?
Maybe.
Can I try?
Pats down his pockets and hands you another apple.
Do you just have like a whole bushel in there or what?
I get hungry.
So Jill's gonna try to lob an apple.
Make a athletics check real quick.
12.
Good enough. Cacophony, make another dexterity saving throw.
15.
Okay. This time you just barely manage to dodge the apple. It kind of like whiffs through your hair.
She gets up and moves into like the hallway next to the cargo bay where there's not a door so they can still hear her. But good luck throwing apples.
You guys hear Cacophony yell down.
Yeah. She calls back, good luck! I'm going to be out of reach now, but I'm going to still be playing loud enough you can hear. And then she starts playing.
You start to hear viol playing coming from the hall below you.
Yeah, she's kind of unstoppable.
I'm getting that, yeah.
Good try, though.
Okay, so Lachlan helps you back up onto the top deck of the ship. The next couple of days pass in, relative, boringness. It's dull. It's mostly just, the current is taking the ship. A couple of you take a couple of shifts of piloting, but overall, there's not an actual lot of piloting that needs to be done.
Shilwyn practices her sign language with Finn, and then otherwise kind of lingers with Veli or Kara or Mr. Hurst.
It's kind of a desert bus situation, I'm guessing, then.
Yeah.
Somebody just needs to be on the ship to sort of keep it from listing to the side.
Yeah, basically. Everybody roll a D20 for me real quick. Actually, let's make it a perception check. Everybody roll a perception check.
Well, that's good, because I already rolled, and it was Garbo.
Perception.
Much better.
Ooh,
Not
12.
by a
Nat
whole
20.
lot.
Nat 20. 25. I am a busybody. I noticed everything.
Yeah. I'm a bit clueless. I only got 12.
And I got a 13.
Cacophony, at one point during the trip, you are up on the deck when you spot in the sort of mists and gas and dust ahead of you the shape of what appears to be another ship.
Captain! She hurries downstairs and starts moving towards the room. There's another ship out in the rainbow. I gotta get dressed, she says.
Wait a minute. Is this the Rainbow Connection?
It's not in the book, but probably.
We finally found it. The lovers, the dreamers, and me. We found it.
Everyone comes up onto the deck of the ship, the captain included, to come look at the thing that you're pointing to.
Well, Cacophony has disappeared after she shouted at everybody, has disappeared back into her room to change, apparently, into actual Cacophony clothes.
Oh, God.
I think she's getting her face on.
Kara, who's piloting the ship right now, edges it closer to the other ship, and when the captain gets a good look at it, she's like, looks like a wreck. We should check for survivors.
Are you sure it's actually a wreck?
Cacophony reappears now with a long dark blue hair and sparkling a little bit as she's finishing getting her ear hole filled with her wax. She's wearing a it's a cute dress, actually. It's tight around the middle and it flares out at the bottom, and it's kind of covered with like a lace see-through sort of affair, and it's embroidered with a lot of patterns of flowers and sakura blossoms, and of course it dips down deep to show off her massive cleavage that she has whenever she's Cacophony. But it's a pretty cute dress, all told.
All right, let's see the link.
I love how Roll20 warns me every time you send me an image warning me. Are you sure you want to click on this?
Are you sure you want to do this? It's asking.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah, just imagine a deeper V is mainly the big thing.
Deeper?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is actually pretty tasteful for you.
Yeah, it is. I told you it was a pretty dress.
No, it is. It's very nice.
I roll every day to see if it's tasteful or not.
So as the Kestrel begins to approach the other ship, and it is it's very similar to a sailing ship from your homeworld, but the underside of the ship has the general shape of a fish. It's a little weird. but as you're approaching, you can see that it is drifting, appears to be heavily damaged, and is does not appear to be anybody on the ship, or at least not anybody living. At which point, Mr. Hurst looks over and says, "Do we want to risk, like, exchanging atmospheres with that ship?" To which the captain says, "Well, we've got Valley on board, so I think we can afford it. Let's get close, see if we can find anybody." You can see that, like, the captain's face is, like, blank, very carefully blank and very carefully schooled as she's giving orders here.
So is this a real ship or a ghost ship?
It's
Or is it a real ghost ship?
The ghost ships are real. This is not a ghost ship. It is a real ship, however.
Okay.
You can see her, like, kind of double check to make sure that what she just said makes sense. And kind of shrugs.
Juliana is doing that as well.
So yeah, you guys get close. The atmospheres exchange as you approach the other ship. It smells musty, but not like gross, not like decay. And who's going to be going on the landing
I've
party?
got something for this.
Oh god.
Space fun helmet.
Wee woo.
Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo.
Have you been wearing it the entire time, or is everyone, or have you been, like, keeping it away for the most
Well,
part?
here's what I have decided to play with the Space Fun helmet is that I want it to be sort of a quantum thing. So it can be off or it can be on, depending on what you want in your imagination. It could have been present during that entire awkward conversation.
With the light rotating.
It could have been, or it may not have been. It could go either way, and I'm content to let the audience choose.
Okay.
Because that's fucking hilarious.
So, who's on the landing party?
Me. Probably.
Yo.
Probably us.
Okay.
We are the gods, if you will.
Guards or gods?
Guards.
Yeah, what?
Guards. That was me using a weird accent. Don't mind me.
Yeah, I'm not sure we're gods. I think I've got some personal
Yeah, you got some personal problems there.
qualms about that
Yeah.
one.
Okay, so
Light blasphemy.
you guys managed to hop over to the other ship. You see a lot of crates spilled around. Not a whole lot of, like, stuff that's actually, like, usable now. Some pots and pans, but all of the food has perished by now. And, like, really perished. So it's, like, past the gross state and just into kind of, like, dust. And as you guys are looking around, everybody make a perception check.
18.
Nat 1.
Yay!
Oh.
Oh, it's like putting on cacophony clothes suddenly makes me oblivious to everything.
8.
Okay.
Does that mean I'm clueless again?
So, Jilliana, as you're looking around, with an eye out for survivors, I would assume,
Of course.
you're not seeing a lot of evidence of anybody still on the ship. However, as you glance out toward the edge of where you would guess the ship's air envelope is, you can see something drifting, like a person-sized something.
Jill's going to, like, gesture towards the others and start moving towards it.
Okay. It is beyond the edge of the ship, so unless you want to try drifting in space, you're probably going to have to find some way to pull it back into ship's atmosphere.
Well, we're on a ship, so hypothetically there's going to be coils of rope or something out there. I'm sure drifting is something that has happened before.
Yeah, make an investigation check.
18.
Holy shit, okay. Most of the rope aboard
I'm
the
from a
ship
port
is
town.
rotted, but you do manage to find some that is still, like, more or less intact.
Hey, can somebody hold on to this, maybe loop it around a couple of times? And she kind of does a light sailor's knot on one of the sides.
Cacophony moves forward and grabs it and starts hooking it onto something. She hooks it onto Mr. Hurst.
Mr. Hurst is back on the ship, unfortunately.
Dang it.
Oh.
Well, she hooks it onto something.
There's a mast.
That works. Yes.
It's more like a flagpole. There's not any sails attached to it.
I mean, there's going to be, like, those little metal things along the side, right? Where you kind of hitch things. I guess it's a hitch? I don't know. I rode horses. I didn't go on boats.
It's called a cleat.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's probably a what the forest lady said.
So yeah, you managed to secure the rope.
And Jill's gonna just sort of try to, I mean, so how are we dealing with this? This is at the end of the envelope. Is this like a zero grav sort of situation or light gravity or?
Right now you are in the flow, and both the ship and this other object appear to be caught in the same current of the flow. So while it is beyond the air envelope of the ship, it is reachable from the ship. The thing is that once you leave the air envelope, you will have your personal envelope, which will last for you don't know how long.
Well, yeah, but also, let me just pull it up here.
Right, you have the Space Fun helmet.
Exactly, the Space Fun helmet.
That lets you breathe in any environment.
Exactly.
Okay, so you're just gonna swim out there, or drift out there, or float out there. You're not quite sure how this works.
Yeah. Okay, so two big tugs is bring me back in. I don't know how sound works here. Also, if it's one long continuous tug, that's probably also not good. Look, just keep an eye on me.
Well, yeah, that goes without saying.
Okay. Then I am going to kind of kick off and try to get out past the envelope.
Okay. Make an athletics check.
That is another 18. Huh.
Holy shit. Jill's the superhero today.
Her desire to be anywhere else besides on the ship.
You managed to kick out from the edge of the ship and reach where this thing is floating. And as you get closer, you realize that it is the body of a person. However, it appears to be calcified in some way. The skin is sort of gray and stone-like, and the body is kind of floating in a pose that suggests like limpness almost.
Okay. Jill is going to sort of gingerly try to approach it and like touch it, not with her bare fingers, definitely with gloves.
Do you have gloves?
And probably. It's in my character art. No, wait, it's not.
It's not. You don't have gloves.
No, I'm gonna gather a bit of the skirt on my armor and kind of try to like use that as just sort of like a barrier there to kind of try to wrap a little bit of this person in it.
Okay. You managed to get a hand covered by your skirt around the ankle of the person. It appears to be a man of indeterminate age, probably human. Beyond that, you can't really tell much.
But they're probably not going to come back to life and try to kill me at the moment.
Not at the moment, no.
No. Then I am going to reach back down around the cord tied around my waist and give it 2 good tugs.
Okay. Jilliana Alviva Cacophony, you see the rope get tugged on twice.
Okay, I do believe you. That means we have to pull her back, perhaps. And she reaches out and starts yoinking it. Well, she tries to yoink it in, but I have strength 8. So she kind of she kind of grunts and pulls for a moment, and then she just kind of looks pitifully over to Alviva.
Yeah, okay, so you guys can work together on this. You guys can either roll strength checks individually, or one of you can roll with advantage.
I'm gonna give Alviva advantage.
Okay, Alviva, roll a strength check with advantage.
Please be strong for me.
You're just left floating in space forever.
Cool. Well, I can breathe. But you probably see like a gentle orange glow kind of flashing out from beyond the envelope. Wee woo.
7. Ooh, I'm not terribly strong today either.
Is that with advantage?
I'm weak and clueless.
It was with advantage, so you can roll again.
Oh, let's see if that does any better.
Please. For your old pal Jilliana, whom you have roasted so successfully.
And oh,
I'm
even weaker. I'm only 6.
Oh no! For your good pal Jill.
So
nice to know you, Jill.
Sorry that we're so weak,
you roasted
Jill.
to a crisp earlier today.
Cacophony and Alviva, you're kind of tugging on the rope, but there's a weight on it that you aren't expecting, and you're having a hard time pulling it back.
Yeah, I'm having a hell of a time. I could use a hand here.
I'm trying to pull, my dear, but I feel like there's more than just Jill on this. It feels very heavy.
Uh-oh. That's never good.
Oh, that is never good. You're right. How long do our personal breathing things work? I don't know. Oh, well, we have to go save Jilliana, I guess.
What?
I just from the deck of the ship, you hear Mr. Hurst calling, "Hey, everything okay over there?"
Oh, we can't pull her up. There's an extra weight on the rope.
We could use a hand.
Okay, hang on.
Thank you, Mr. Hurst.
Oh my god. Jill just feels like the weakest ass tug on the rope. Like, yeah.
So Mr. Hurst hops over to the ship with you guys.
Jill sighs heavily in space.
First off, Mr. Hurst lands on the deck. He looks around. He sees the two of you, a rope leading off into the distance and an orange light. And he's like,
That's not fire, don't worry.
what's, oh, no, if it were fire, we'd know. What's going on here, guys?
Help now, explain later.
Jilliana would be best for explaining it, Mr. Hurst.
She's gonna run out of air.
She drums her fingers.
Actually, will she with the helmet? I honestly don't know.
I will die of boredom, though.
Mr. Hurst rolled an 18 to pull the rope in.
Yay,
So
Thank
Jill,
you.
you feel the slightest tug on the rope, and then nothing happens. And just when you start to think that maybe you're kind of screwed, all of a sudden you go hurt as the rope just kind of lurches backwards, and you're pulled back to the ship.
Whiplash.
And you see that now alongside Cacophony Alviva, there's Mr. Hurst.
Yeah, you see Mr. Hurst holding the rope, and Cacophony and Alviva looking very embarrassed.
That'll do it.
So you land back on the deck
Hi,
of the ship.
Mr. Hurst.
Hi, how's it going? Oh, you found one. And as you look over
think
at
so.
this sort of calcified person, the moment they hit the air envelope, the grayness to the skin starts to recede, and the person in
Whoa.
question starts breathing
Oh.
again.
Hello!
It is, in fact, a human man, sort of slightly balding with a widow's peak, skinny looking, sharp features. Other than that, like, not much about him that you can tell.
You don't look very good, sir.
Yeah, he takes a deep breath, and he kind of looks around, and he goes, "Oh, thank you."
Jill cast a healing word.
Okay, roll it.
So that's 7.
Okay, 7 hit points. Okay, so he
Yeah.
looks significantly better, and he's kind of sitting there on the deck, breathing in and out, kind of getting used to breathing again.
Didn't happen to notice any others, did you?
And he looks around, and he goes, "If you didn't see any others, it's probably just me."
She nods once.
Well, we should probably sweep the ship just in case.
Yeah,
though, right?
likely.
Okay, anybody wants to sweep the ship, make an investigation check?
I'm gonna stay with the injured party.
Alviva, do you have investigation so we could advantage this, or
I am 0. It says investigation.
you want to aid me anyway, just so I get advantage?
What do you want me to do?
Just aid me with, like, looking around for stuff.
Okay. What else?
You don't have to roll anything for that.
I'm
you
not.
don't. I
I'm not.
gotta take care.
Yeah. I'm looking.
Yeah, if you're helping somebody else, you don't have to roll anything, but you give them advantage.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
I got an 11. My roll wasn't great.
Okay. You sweep the ship. You don't find any more people. You do find a skeleton or two to indicate
Ah.
that, like, this ship has been
Ominous.
wrecked a very long time.
Yeah.
Near as you can tell from looking around, this was probably some kind of trading ship. That's about it.
After she does a sweep and she's gone for a while, she'll come back then. She goes, I found nobody other than, unfortunately, the indication that this has been a long time. She looks to the man and she goes, do you have any idea what happened?
I think we were attacked. I don't, and he looks very confused.
It's okay. You don't have to worry too much right now.
Mr. Hurst kind of looks over and says, "This happens sometimes with the ones who get calcified.
Ooh.
They forget stuff the longer they're floating out there."
Does it come back?
That makes sense.
Can you tell us your name?
And the guy just, he squints, and then he looks a little scared and he says, I don't remember. That's weird, right? If you can't remember.
That's
That's
okay.
okay. That's okay.
Likely it's just happened because you were out there so long, and it has been a very long time. It's fine.
Little at a time. Reel it back.
Reeling it back.
Mr. says, "We'll take him back aboard the ship and drop him off where we can."
She nods.
Yeah. You just don't worry too much for now. Maybe something will come back. And she sort of gestures helplessly to Mr. Hurst, like, "Is that a thing? Does it come back?"
Mr. Hurst kind of very subtly shakes his head.
Okay.
All right, so you take this guy back on board the ship.
Does he have anything like I don't know, dog tags or anything identifying on him?
His clothes appear nice. Other than that, he does not appear to have anything on him.
Okay.
Hmm.
A wallet.
Jill, make a insight check real quick.
Okay.
And actually, Alviva as well.
27.
Hell yeah, Jilliana.
My rolls were Garbo when it actually mattered during combat, so
10.
Well, you've been in the woods. You're not that great at reading people.
I'm clueless, stupid, and weak.
Aw.
Okay.
You have more hit points than the rest of us.
And you also murder way hardcore than we do.
And now you can murder 4 times in one turn.
Yes.
That's true. I'm a murderous idiot. Yes.
That's the best kind.
Okay. Jill, as you see, as you're helping this guy onto the deck of the Kestrel, and you see Mr. Hurst go over and explain the situation to the captain, that carefully blank expression on the captain's face cracks very briefly.
Uh-oh.
And you see, like, there's something has kind of like struck her deep inside, and then the mask goes back on, and she just nods at Mr. Hurst and continues on her way.
Oh, this is probably familiar.
Did you see that? I mean, I know I'm not terribly insightful, but did you see that?
Alviva, you did not see that, but Jilliana did.
Jill just kind of like grits her teeth a little and makes a mental note.
The stranger, whose name you still do not know because he did not know what it is, kind of sets up in sort of like a spare sleeping area in the cargo bay. He seems amenable to the idea of just being dropped off wherever. But yeah, the rest of the trip continues. You leave the wreckage of the ship behind.
Now bit more awkward.
Do we want to do any more awkward flirting before we conclude for the day?
Oh my god. Less awkward flirting, maybe a little bit, but more, when in doubt, get a deck of cards. Jill's gonna teach everybody euchre.
Oh!
Shilwyn's in. Shilwyn is always happy to learn more cards, and she drags Mr. Hurst with her.
So who's invited to euchre? Is it everybody?
It's everybody, but euchre can only really be played in groups of 4, so
Yeah.
we can all take turns out, rotating in and out.
So it's probably Jill, probably Jilwyn, and Mr. Hurst. For the 4th player, it could be Alviva or it could be Lachlan.
Well, Aviva, I happen to know how to play euchre, so.
It's one of the only things the old man could teach you.
Hey, we had a lot of time to pass in that forest.
Now, do you want to card shark it with the euchre?
Ooh, there's an idea. Now that wouldn't be fair since everybody else is learning. I'll just watch and snicker in back when they make stupid moves.
Okay, so the 4 is Jilliana, Mr. Hurst, Jilwyn, and Lachlan.
Okay, so you're just going to do some psychological warfare then.
Yeah. And I don't know how to play euchre, so I'm just going to say you guys all have a lovely evening teaching, learning how to play euchre.
Okay, so we've got the Bowers, we've got...
Oh, we're not really going to do this, are we?
Look, I'm just saying, if I've thought about, like, a card game that, like, sounds really stupid and dumb that wasn't Bridge, and I'm from Indiana, ergo euchre.
Yeah. Well, I'm from French-Canadian Ontario. That's how we know euchre. And
Oh,
I know
man.
all kinds of really rude things that you say. When you hit... Yeah, I used to hear my parents playing it from upstairs in the bedroom.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah. Most of the time it's in French, so don't worry.
Well, I just heard it in a Southern Indiana, North Kentucky accent, so...
So you guys have a lovely evening, possibly frustrating evening, learning to play euchre.
Euchre is done in pairs, by the way.
Yes, you have a partner.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you're partnered with Lachlan. I'm with Mr. Hurst.
Oh, shit. I'm the one that knows how to play, but I am definitely just decimated by that team.
Yeah, what kind of check would it be to see how good you are at euchre?
Sleight of
Well,
hand?
there's a little bit of a bluffing involved in euchre because you're trying to sort of like play with your partner without really playing. So a deception, maybe,
Okay.
or a
Can I just use my message cantrip to talk to? Talk to Mr. Hurst.
Are you trying?
I'd say that
Are you
that
trying
definitely
to-
works for like a game, right? And then it's like, wait a goddamn minute.
Are you trying to hide the fact that you're casting message?
She tries to hide the fact that she's casting, so it's gonna be the deception. She just kind of lightly taps her temple and stares intently at her cards like she's not doing it.
Hang on, I'm checking the spell components for message.
I think I also have to whisper, so it wouldn't work.
Verbal, somatic, and material. A short piece of copper wire. I'm gonna say, do a sleight of hand check.
I actually have that. Very good. 12.
12, okay. Jilliana, make a perception check.
That's a +8.
That's an 8.
Yeah!
This ought to be good.
I can't see the chat. My computer froze up. Here we go. Okay, so Jill lost. So I'm gonna say everyone who's at the table do charisma checks, and Mr. Hurst and Jillian are going to be doing it with advantage because they're cheating.
Oh no! I got a nat 1.
Hold on. I only rolled a single, but I got 25 with my advantage.
Mr. Hurst gets an 8 both times, even with advantage. And hang on, I got to roll for Lachlan. Thank God I statted him for this pulse-pounding euchre game. Okay, so Cacophony and Mr. Hurst together got 33. Jilliana and Lachlan together got 21.
Jilliana is absolutely no help. Her hand once touched Lachlan's when they were passing cards, and she lost her fucking shit. Very quietly lost her fucking shit.
Yeah, Lachlan rolled an 18. He is surprisingly good at this, considering he's never played before, but you are just dragging him down.
Yeah.
And Cacophony and Mr. Hurst have played together cards enough at this point because they do it basically every day while they're on the ship.
Yeah.
So they've kind of at least got some sort of mojo going on, even if Mr. Hurst doesn't quite understand euchre, and Cacophony picked it up apparently right away.
Alviva, make a perception check real quick.
Me?
Yeah,
Yes.
you're watching.
True. Yeah, okay.
She
Whoa!
sees everything. She sees me cheating.
24.
Oh, 24. Oh no.
Alviva, you are painfully aware of the fact that Cacophony has been cheating. In fact, you're not quite sure how Jilliana hasn't noticed.
Yeah. I thought I was the clueless one, yeah.
Oh, don't worry. Jilliana's a different kind of clueless.
All right, so Jillian and Mr. Hurst win at euchre.
This mighty pulse-pounding episode of D&D.
Jill sort of snaps up from the table as she realizes how spectacularly she has failed at her own fucking card game. It's like, hey, Alviva, you wanna trade in? I mean, like, I feel like everybody's gotten the rules pretty well, and yeah, you wanna take a
It's
shot?
okay. I will stand up and watch, dear. And she stands up and she moves to the side to let Alviva take her place.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I'll call it here and say that Alviva proceeds to destroy your roll at euchre, because
Oh, and she didn't even have to cheat.
Did it without cheating.
So yeah, it's probably the next day by the time you guys start to approach the Kryn space sphere. And your first inkling of it, you can't the phlogiston is too thick for you to see the sphere coming. So by the time the gas is thin enough for you to see it, it's really up close. So all you see is, again, this massive curving wall of this gray graphite material in front of you, and another hole that Kara is flying you guys towards to get through it. And yeah, this is another world, you guys.
Oh boy.
So you fly through and you look around, and yeah, it's weird how familiar it looks. It is, again, the inside of another sphere. This one doesn't have like the bowls of fire studding the inside when you look behind you. Instead, you see these sort of portals in thin air opening up, but it's opening up into wherever it's opening up to is just pure bright light that comes shining out of these basically holes in space.
Oh, we've hit heaven.
And you look around and you can see other planets in the distance in this system. A lot of them, in fact. and a bright star at the center of the system.
Wow, theirs is nicer.
JEMJAMMER is performed by Annie Craton, Kit Walker, Mackenzie Weaver, and Vicki Charron, and it is edited by Jake Mason. Our character designs were concepted by Rio, who you can find at vriosart on Twitter, and our cover art was illustrated by Canary Witch, who you can find at doodlesfromthebird.tumblr.com. Our opening and closing music is by Reckoning Storm Audio Works. You can find more episodes of this show, as well as our other shows and news at our website, crookedrussiancam.horse. You can find us on Twitter at CRC Podcasts and on Tumblr at crookedrussiancam.tumblr.com. If you want to support us, a like, rating, review, subscribe wherever you find our podcast is super helpful and helps us get discovered. And if you want to give us some money, you can do that at patreon.com/thejemjam or ko-fi.com/crookedrussiancam. Are we ready to continue the D&D game?
I mean, I'm ready. I just can't deny my cat when he brings me a crinkle toy and stares at me with big eyes.